Okay, so when you hear the word opera, you probably think of something, well, kind of old and stuffy, right? Forget all that. We're about to jump into a story that's got it all. Magic, monsters, a princess in trouble, and a hero on this huge, epic quest. We're talking about Mozart's The Magic Flute. And honestly, it's pretty much the original blueprint for all the fantasy stories you love today. So here's the big question we're going to tackle. Is this thing just a dusty 200-year-old opera? Or is it maybe the world's first fantasy epic? I mean, seriously, could this be the story that kicked off everything we see in movies and games now? Let's break it down and find out if it actually holds up. All right, Chapter 1, an epic opera quest. So, you know how every great adventure story has to start with a hero, right? Well, meet our guy, Prince Tamino, and the story kicks off big time. He's immediately attacked by a giant serpent, and bam, he gets knocked out cold. But when he wakes up, he gets handed a mission that is going to change his entire life. Now, what's super interesting is how Mozart tells the story. It's something called a Singspiel. And look, that's just a fancy word that means it has both talking and singing. Think about it like a superhero movie. You don't want just action scenes with no talking, right? You'd be totally lost. You need the dialogue to, actually move the plot forward. That's exactly what Mozart did. He mixed these incredible songs with just normal talking. And because of that, it was way easier for everybody to get into, not just the super rich. Okay, so let's imagine you are the main character here. If you were playing the Magic Flute the game, this would be your main quest log. Step 1, get the mission. The mysterious Queen of the Night shows up and asks you to rescue her daughter, Pamina. Easy enough, right? Step 2, meet your sidekick. You team up with this super funny bird catcher dude named Papageno. But then, and here's the first big plot twist, you discover the supposed villain, this guy Sarastro, is actually a wise leader. So now you gotta level up by passing a bunch of trials to prove you're a real hero. Only then can you take on the final boss, defeat the darkness, and win the game. All right, time to be the key players. You can't have a good quest without an awesome cast of characters, so let's check out the roster for this adventure. First up, you've got your two main heroes. On the left, we have Prince Tamino. He's your classic idealistic hero, He's on this big quest for wisdom and love. He starts off a little clueless, but he really grows into a wise leader. And then you've got Papageno. He is the total opposite. He's the relatable everyman, the funny sidekick who could not care less about wisdom. His quest? It's for food, wine, and finding a wife. He stays hilariously human and, a little bit scared the whole time. You just gotta love him. Now for the big showdown of ideals. On one side, you have the Queen of the Night, and at first, she completely tricks you. She seems like this poor, sad mom, but surprise, it's a total setup. She's actually vengeful and power-hungry. Her famous aria? That's basically her ultimate attack. It's all these crazy high notes that show she represents chaos. Then you've got Sarastro. He's set up as the bad guy, the kidnapper, but he turns out to be the calm, wise mentor. His voice is super deep and authoritative, and his music is all about light and order. Total switcheroo. Okay, so our heroes have their mission. They kind of know who to trust. But you can't send them out into the world without some gear. It's time for some magical musical power-ups. And yeah, you heard that right. In this story, the best weapons aren't swords or shields. They're musical instruments. So what's in their inventory? For Tamino, he gets the golden flute. This thing is a legit legendary item. It can change sorrow to joy and offers major protection. It's basically his main tool for getting through all the difficult levels. Then there's Papageno. He gets the silver bells. And this is basically a crowd control device. No joke. Whenever he's in a jam, he just plays them and it makes all the enemies break out into a dance, completely harmless. And this gets to a really important idea in the whole story. These instruments show that music has this special kind of power, a power that's way stronger than any physical weapon. I mean, think about it. Our heroes get through this entire dangerous quest without a single sword fight. Their weapons are music. Mozart is making a huge point here. Art and creativity can be more powerful than brute force. Okay, so we've got the main quest, we've met the characters, we've got the power-ups. But if you really want to understand what's going on under the surface of the Magic Flute, you've got to unlock the secret code. It's kind of like finding all the hidden lore and Easter eggs in a video game. And the master key to unlocking all of it? It comes down to one single number, the number 3. And once you start looking for it, you see it everywhere. Seriously. There are 3 mysterious ladies at the beginning. 3 wise spirit boys who act as guides. The heroes have to enter one of 3 temples, And they have to complete 3 main trials. So what's the deal with the number 3? Well, Mozart was part of this group called the Freemasons, and for them, 3 was a really important symbolic number. He basically hid their secret codes all throughout the opera. So what's the big picture here? The whole story, the main theme, is really a journey. It's about going from the darkness of chaos and, not knowing things, into the light of wisdom and understanding. This was a huge idea when Mozart was around. It was a time called the Enlightenment, and it was all about using reason and knowledge to make the world a better place. Okay, section 4, why it's still legendary. I mean, it's a cool story, it has secret codes, that's great, but why are we still talking about this thing more than 200 years later? What gives it that legendary status? Well, a huge part of it is Mozart's music. The guy was like a master playlist creator. He had a different vibe for every single character. For Papageno, he wrote these simple, folk-like songs that are super catchy and easy to hum. For the Queen of the Night, it's this complex, virtuosic stuff that's just intense and technically insane. For our heroes, Tamino and Pamina, he wrote these beautiful, emotional love duets. And for Sarastro and his priests, it's these solemn, almost church-like choruses that sound so peaceful and wise. There's something for everyone, so it never gets old. And here's the real game changer. Back in the day, almost all fancy operas were in Italian, which was great if you were part of the wealthy elite who spoke Italian. For everyone else, not so much. But Mozart wrote the Magic Flute in German, the language that people actually spoke on the street. This was absolutely huge. It meant that regular people, not just nobles, could go to the theater and actually understand what was happening. He basically opened up opera for everyone. And its legacy is just massive. I mean, it inspired legendary composers like Beethoven and Wagner. The story's been adapted into tons of movies, plays, and animations. And that Queen of the Night aria, I guarantee you've heard it. It's been in commercials, it's been in movies, it's everywhere in pop culture. It's one of the big reasons why the Magic Flute is still a go-to for introducing people to opera. So, what's the most important message here? What's the big takeaway? When you strip away all the magic and the crazy music, this is a timeless story about one thing: growing up. It's about facing challenges with honesty, figuring out who you are, and finding your own way in the world. And that's a quest that, honestly, every single one of us is on. So I'll leave you with this one last thought. After seeing how this whole epic quest played out, what do you think is a better weapon for changing the world? A sword or a song? Let that one sink in.